Kicker Chad Ryland has this one teed up, and we are underway. Off we go in Foxborough. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. They'll run. Here's the rookie from Michigan. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. You can look at this Patriots defense. They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw, Williams. Forced out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
3rd and 19.
Let's go now. Let's go.
To the air, Williams. Under pressure, they got him again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Patriots take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
On the set. Track at 60. Here we go. Here we go.
Working out of the gun, Williams. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. When you look at this Patriots defense, they find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
throwing is Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He made
open man. He finds Komet. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Shut up.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Back to throw. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Let's go now. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Check go.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Patriots at 2-14 in what's been a tough year. They come in needing just to do something to stop this skid here before the season ends.
And let's face it, everyone now, they're looking to the leaders, both in the locker room and the coaching staff and, of course, ownership, because they've got to get a clear understanding of how everyone feels. Because to me, you've got to focus on everyone in the locker room right now. That's what you're playing for. The future, it'll take care of itself.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Ready. Hot, hot.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And the pressure gets to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now. And this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, it's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Okay, ready.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
19, Pioneer. Ready.
To throw, it's Williams. And he wants Reynolds way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
In motion right is Davis.
Go.
2nd and 11.
Open man Hamler, that's complete.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Here we go. 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. Warrior 70.
They'll look to throw here. And he completes it to Westbrook. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
70 range. Check go.
Looking to throw is Williams. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go.
Dragon 60. Panther 11. Panther 11. Ready.
He'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Williams. A pass complete to Odunze. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. 19 tight. 19 tight. Go.
Operating from the gun, Williams. Steps away to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Trap 60. Ready. Buffalo 18.
Looking to throw. Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Williams operating from the gun. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Here comes Andrews. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
On the jump.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. They'll throw now on the final play. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this 3rd quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
Oh, able to avoid him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Let's go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Let's go. 70 Timberwolves. Ready.
They'll set up to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Partner, normally double coverage is reserved for receivers and tight ends, but this time they actually targeted the running back with it, and it still wasn't enough. He attacked the defense and got in a great position to haul in the catch and get a nice gain out of it.
Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Mustang 19. Go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
.35 yards that time on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Here's Williams.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Terrell Bernard
Picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. He got him a big chunk of that yardage back, but even with that effort, it'll still be 3rd and long.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
The Patriots going with a dime package here. 2 extra defensive backs on 3rd.
To throw, Williams.
Pressure comes and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield.
On the ready. Come on, set.
They'll run for the first time with Tyler Bidet.
And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Set up. Ready.
He'll drop to throw. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Ready. Set go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And going right back to Westbrook. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Let's go
Line
now.
of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Set up.
He'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Hawk 70. 79 Bronco. Hut.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, you can see and feel the disappointment on that one because you saw some guys on the sidelines jumping up going, oh, no. Looked like they had that one set up well on third down, but you got to give yourself time to get rid of the football.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And now the rookie's free. He may go. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Back to throw here. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago. And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them. They'll go play action here with Williams. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So they're able to capitalize. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 28-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Back to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now they'll change things around before the snap. The slot man in motion right. They're going to look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense so far on third down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and a mile. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Pats are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So the deep ball giveth, and now the deep ball taketh away.
Man, you're getting deep on me here. I like that. Going to the next level in what you're thinking. And when you think about all the success he's had throwing the football so far, sometimes when you're doing that, you think you're invincible out there. But he was given a cold dose of reality. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Set.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Street. Check go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
Big Lion.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
You got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Rome Odunze with a milestone career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Street. Go, Chap. Ready.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Ready.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Go. 60 Bison. Go.
Operating from the gun, Wolf. It's caught by Davis. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Back to throw now on first down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Come on. Set. Curve 19. Ready.
2nd and 11. Throw left side complete. That's Davis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
60 Maverick. 19 tight. Check go.
Off the play fake. Wolf. Oh, he stays up. Escaping the pressure right. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Ready.
Back to throw. Wolf. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
go now.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. The open man is Westbrook. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Trap 60, trap 60. Hut, hut.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now. They want to finish what they started. They want this shutout preserved.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 0-0.
Here we go.
But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Ready, ready?
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Mustang 19. Let's go. Go.
Looking to throw. Wolf. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Here we go. Shot.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.